Naruto Uzumaki, the 7th Hokage, the strongest shinobi in the Hidden Leaf Village. But how strong is he? Well, let's find out. Well, we know the Hokage is strong, but how strong? Well, I think we can start at the last movie where Naruto completely one-shots Toneri Otsutsuki, someone who's going to destroy the earth by howling the moon at it. Also someone who can completely split the moon in half with a singular attack very casually. And then after having 50% of his chakra drained by Momoshiki Otsutsuki, someone who's stronger than Kaguya Otsutsuki, he still does just fine against someone of this caliber. Kaguya being someone who can create planet-sized dimension even housing stars. Momoshiki then going on to absorb Kinshiki, a confirmed planet splitter, and completely raffle stomping every single Kage. With just sheer force, he can cut down god trees, something 8th Gate Guy could not replicate. In the novelization, it was confirmed that he completely absorbed the star, and even with all of that, base Naruto was still able to somewhat keep pace with this almighty being. Even after striking off a beating, he gets up and completely starts to dominate Momoshiki in hand-to-hand combat, punches Momoshiki through a god tree, which 8th Gate Guy again cannot replicate, and was the one to give Boruto the Rasengan to kill Momoshiki in the end. He's able to tank and shrug off blasts from Kawaki, and easily able to fondle Delta around in base, and able to completely stop a speeding train with one arm. And this of course isn't explaining what he does in Baryon mode against Ishiki, but I'll wait for the manga to get animated for that. So what about speed? Because the guy obviously has to be fast. Well, for that, we'll start with Kakashi Hatake, who was confirmed by Guy himself to have cut a bolt of lightning in half. This is definitely a valid source because yes, Guy was there. Now this is significant because Kakashi, when he did this, was tired, he was fatigued, low on energy and chakra. So let's put it together. Kakashi, while fatigued and low on chakra, and much inexperienced compared to his Part 1 counterpart, is easily able to reach speeds of over 270,000 miles per hour. Well then, what about Naruto? Well, we can start here. While in KCM1 during the war, he's completely able to blitz around the Hokage. The Hokage had him power up to max speed at the time. And for any confusion, this databook page outright states he's near the speed of light. So for this video, I'll say the Hokage is about faster than light at max. Naruto was still able to completely blitz around him at point blank range. So we can put KCM around FTL while it's untamed. The war continues and he goes on to acquire KCM2, which could possibly be a 2x multiplier. Then he goes on to stack Sage Mode on top of it, and then he gets 6-path Sage Mode, which is just ludicrous. He's able to blitz Jubi Madara, dodge the Sage Art Like Fan at point blank range. Not to mention he stacks KCM2 on top of 6-path Sage Mode, which gives him ludicrous amounts of speed compared to KCM1 while he was much inexperienced with the form. And yet with all that speed, there was nothing he could do against Kaguya. But now let's take adult Naruto, who has been training for, 15 additional years since the war, takes on 2 Kaguya level threats at the same time. Both of them fuse and he's just like, and then you have Mr. Jigen over here, who's stronger than the Momoshiki fusion. And again, Naruto is just like... And then you have Mr. Jigen over here, who's stronger than the Momoshiki fusion. And again, Naruto is just like... So yeah, I think it's definitely safe to say Naruto's about massively faster than light at max speed at this point of his life. If you haven't watched my How Strong is Momoshiki video, you know I put Momoshiki around solar system level AP, so we can do Naruto the same thing. And now, we can move on. Now this part is probably going to be my favorite because one, there are a lot of people who think Naruto can only do some Rasengan and Shadow Clones, when in fact, he can use Earth Style, he can use the Shadow Clone Jutsu and make like a lot of clones. He can use the Rasengan, he can use the Giant Rasengan, he can use the Massive Rasengan. With the combination of Sage Mode and Shadow Clones, he can do this. He can use the Summoning Jutsu to summon massive Toad Sages. He can use Sage Mode. He can absorb nature energy to replenish his chakra. He can also pour nature energy into his opponents that can't control it and completely turn them into a toad. He can use the Rasen Shuriken, which Lady Tsunade states shreds its opponent at a cellular level, which he can combine with Tail Beast Chakra, whether it be magnet release or boil release or lava release. Then in KCM, he can create chakra limbs. He can sense negative intent or emotions. He can share his chakra with other people, giving him a Ninetales cloak. He can create a massive Ninetales avatar, which can also be used with shadow clones. In 6 pass mode, he can also levitate or fly, and yes, he can do this in Boruto. And with the sensory abilities, he can also sense beings on a different plane of existence, which is crazy because that's Naruto, so I wonder what Boruto's gonna have in store for the future. And then there's Baron Mo with all its weird abilities that we're gonna see later in the future. But let me know what you think down in the comments section, if I'm wrong or if I'm right, or just share your overall opinion. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and I'll see you guys on the next one.